The night was electric with energy as the crowd filled the venue to capacity, all buzzing with excitement. Fans adorned in their best outfits chatted eagerly, sharing stories about how long they had waited for this moment. Colorful lights illuminated the stage, casting dynamic shadows over the sea of enthusiastic faces. Voices blended into a harmonious roar of anticipation, a mix of laughter and shouts echoing through the air. In the midst of it all, a spotlight flickered, announcing that the moment everyone had been waiting for was close at hand. The unmistakable chords of Elvis Presley's iconic songs buzzed through the speakers. The crowd's energy surged like a tidal wave as more than 10,000 adoring fans anticipated Elvis's appearance. Some waved handmade signs, while others clutched their loved ones' hands with fervent hope. A gentle breeze flowed through the open doors as fans caught glimpses of each other, some remembering concert experiences from years gone by and others diving into this joyful occasion for the first time. All eyes were glued to the stage as chatter simmered down to an expectant hush, ready for history to unfold before them. Among these fans stood Martha James, her heart racing in delight. She wore a light blue dress that matched her vibrant spirit, and pearls that shimmered in the lighting. With glimmering eyes fixed on the stage, she felt herself living a dream. The night was destined to be unforgettable. Everything seemed perfect until an unforeseen event threatened to change that magic forever. Martha James stood in the crowd, a radiant beacon of joy amidst the throng of fans. At 64 years old, she exuded an enthusiasm that matched the energy around her. Her light blue dress flowed gracefully as she moved, catching the light with every step. The pearls adorning her neck sparkled like stars, and her white gloves added a touch of elegance to her overall appearance. To Martha, this wasn't just a concert, it was a celebration of a lifelong passion. As she glanced around, memories flooded her mind, each Elvis song tied to significant moments in her life. From dancing in her living room as a young girl to singing along with friends at parties, Elvis's music had always been there, serving as the soundtrack to her happiest memories. It was as if he spoke directly to her soul, lifting her spirits whenever she felt down. In that bustling arena, she felt young again, lost in the thrill of nostalgia and excitement. Each beat of the music pulsed through her heart, echoing decades of devotion. Martha held tightly to a homemade sign that read, "Elvis Forever," its bright colors matching the lively atmosphere. As the first notes played and the anticipation grew ever more palpable, Martha felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude, grateful for this moment, grateful for the music that had brought so much joy to her life. Yet little did she know, this blissful evening would soon change dramatically. The moment the lights dimmed, a hush swept over the crowd, and excitement crackled in the air like static electricity. Suddenly, the spotlight burst to life, illuminating the stage and revealing Elvis Presley in all his glory. Dressed in his signature flashy attire, he exuded charisma and confidence that instantly captivated everyone in the venue. The roar of the crowd erupted like thunder as fans jumped to their feet, cheering and clapping, their faces filled with pure joy. Martha's heart raced as she watched him stride across the stage, her eyes sparkling with admiration. She felt as if her childhood dreams had come to life right before her. The first notes of "Hound Dog" rang out, and she couldn't help but sway along with the rhythm, her hands clapping in sync with the crowd. Her laughter mingled with shouts of excitement from those around her, creating a symphony of happiness that echoed throughout the arena. Elvis moved effortlessly, engaging with the audience and flashing his charming smile. Each song he sang seemed to resonate deeply within Martha's soul, washing over her like a wave of nostalgia. She sang along at the top of her lungs, feeling alive and vibrant amidst a sea of fellow fans who shared her passion. For that brief moment, nothing else mattered, only the music, the magic of Elvis on stage, and the unbreakable bond it created among everyone present. The night was full of promise until fate stepped in to change everything. As Elvis launched into one of his most popular songs, "Can't Help Falling in Love," the air seemed to shimmer with emotion. The crowd swayed in unison, their voices blending in harmony with his, creating an intense atmosphere filled with love and nostalgia. Martha felt her heart swell as each note enveloped her, igniting memories from every phase of her life, happy moments spent dancing with friends and the thrill of young love. But as the music reached a crescendo, overwhelming excitement coursed through her body. She clutched her sign tightly, feeling as if she might burst from joy. Then suddenly, darkness began creeping into her vision, and before she could process what was happening, it was as if the energy around her had vanished. A wave of dizziness swept over her, and with a gasp, she collapsed to the ground. Gasps rippled through the crowd as those nearby witnessed the shocking moment unfold. Faces turned from exhilaration to concern in an instant. Friends rushed to Martha's side, kneeling next to her in alarm. Whispers spread as fans frantically looked for help while others shouted for medics. The once euphoric atmosphere turned tense, each heartbeat echoing worry within the crowd. Elvis noticed the commotion instantly, a shadow of concern crossing his face. As he continued singing, his gaze remained fixed on Martha, reflecting a genuine worry that transcended the stage and reached into the hearts of everyone present. The music played on, but the jubilance had shifted into anxious anticipation. Panic surged through the crowd as medics burst onto the scene, their bright uniforms stark against the colorful backdrop of the concert. The cheerful notes of Elvis's voice began to fade in the background, replaced by urgent commands and the clicking of medical equipment. Fans parted to make way for the paramedics, their faces shifting from buoyant joy to grim concern, tinged with confusion about what had just happened. The medics quickly knelt beside Martha, their expressions serious and focused. One checked her pulse while another fanned her face gently, desperate to bring her back from the brink of unconsciousness. The lively atmosphere that had filled the arena moments before was now thick with tension. All around, whispers grew louder as friends were left helpless, worrying about her well-being. Many clutched each other's hands or crossed their fingers in hope. Elvis stopped singing mid-verse, his commanding presence at once both calming and jarring in this new reality. He stood still, searching for any sign that Martha would awaken. His deep concern was palpable, not just for her but for everyone witnessing this shocking turn of events. As ambulance lights began flashing outside in the distance, a somber mood settled over the audience, who now felt united in their concern. Each beat of their hearts seemed synchronized with the frantic efforts of the medics. All eyes were glued to the scene as they collectively held their breath, waiting for Martha to respond. It was a moment that shifted the concert from pure celebration to shared apprehension, a night no one would forget. As the murmurs of concern rippled through the crowd, Elvis's expression transformed from one of joy to deep worry. He instinctively recognized that something was wrong and immediately halted his performance, his gaze fixed on the scene unfolding before him. The upbeat rhythm of the music faded into silence, a stark contrast to the rising tension in the arena. Kneeling beside Martha, he reached out gently, his fingers brushing her shoulder as he leaned in closer. "Martha, honey, can you hear me?" he asked softly, his voice filled with genuine concern. The crowd watched intently, their collective breaths held as they observed this powerful moment of vulnerability from their idol. Elvis's presence alone created a sense of calm amidst the chaos. With each passing second, the urgency around them intensified. Medics worked diligently to check Martha's vital signs, but Elvis remained focused on her face, hoping for any sign of awareness. His brow furrowed with worry, and it was clear that this moment meant more to him than any performance ever could. The crowd felt a connection not only to Elvis but also to Martha in that instant, strangers united by shared emotion and concern for one woman. As he knelt there, Elvis exemplified compassion and commitment beyond the stage lights and glamour. This wasn't just a concert anymore. It had transformed into a poignant reminder of humanity and care, leaving an indelible mark on everyone present as they waited for Martha to awaken. As Elvis knelt beside Martha, a heavy silence enveloped the arena, contrasting sharply with the vibrant energy that had filled the air just moments before. The crowd of fans, once animated and jubilant, now reflected a mix of anxiety and admiration. Heartbeats echoed like a palpable rhythm, uniting them in an unexpected moment of vulnerability. Many members of the audience exchanged worried glances, their excitement replaced by concern for Martha's well-being. Some fans clasped their hands together, whispering prayers or hopeful words to one another, while others simply remained transfixed, staring at the stage with bated breath. Every eye was riveted to Elvis and Martha as if the world around them had faded away, honing their focus on this poignant scene. Admiration for Elvis was evident in the way people looked at him with awe. He had transcended his role as a performer and emerged as a figure of compassion. His gentle demeanor displayed a deep connection to his fans that few could replicate. The realization that he cared enough to stop his show for Martha made many feel even closer to him. Mixed emotions swirled within the crowd. Fear for Martha's condition mingled with gratitude for Elvis's kindness. They felt privileged to witness this moment of tenderness unfold live before them, reinforcing the bond shared between artist and audience. In that instant, they were not just spectators but part of something much larger, a community united by love, concern, and hope. As the medics worked quickly but carefully, the scene felt both chaotic and tender. One medic gently checked Martha's pulse while another used a small flashlight to examine her eyes, ensuring she was responding. The soft murmurs of their voices mixed with the distant sounds of the crowd, who remained silent, hanging on every movement in that small circle around Martha. Elvis kept his gaze locked on her face, his voice low and soothing as he spoke. "You're going to be okay, Martha. Just take a deep breath for me," he urged softly, hoping his words would reach her even in this vulnerable moment. His presence was calming, radiating warmth and reassurance that enveloped her like a comforting blanket. He brushed a stray hair from her forehead as he knelt beside her, an act of kindness that resonated deeply with everyone watching. The medics continued their work, but Elvis's gentle manner added a layer of care that transcended the urgency of the situation. It was clear he wanted Martha to know she wasn't alone. She had someone by her side who truly cared. The crowd watched in rapt attention, holding their breaths as they witnessed this heartfelt exchange. Fans felt a sense of unity in their concern for Martha and admiration for Elvis's compassion during such a critical moment. Together, they waited for signs of recovery, hoping for the moment when Martha would awaken and feel the love surrounding her, not just from Elvis but from all the hearts joined together in that arena. As the seconds passed like hours, the crowd remained frozen in a state of hushed anticipation. Hope and concern hung heavily in the air, intertwining like threads of a tapestry that bound everyone together in this moment. The silence was almost palpable, broken only by the faint sounds of the medics checking Martha's vital signs and Elvis's soft reassurances. Many had tears glimmering in their eyes, reflecting the worry they felt for a woman they barely knew but who represented something special to them all. Fans exchanged nervous glances, some holding tightly to each other, while others clasped their hands in prayer. The atmosphere thickened with every heartbeat, a shared rhythm that united them as a community. Strangers became allies in this emotional moment, all drawn together by the love of music and concern for one cherished fan. Elvis, still kneeling beside Martha, seemed to embody that connection as he continued speaking softly to her, his commitment to her well-being evident. The audience felt his sincerity and began to join him in wishing for her recovery, whispering words of encouragement and support. Suddenly, a collective intake of breath echoed through the crowd when they saw Martha's eyelids flutter slightly, a small but hopeful sign. Each witness stood on the edge of their seats, feeling a rush of emotion that bound them tighter than any song ever could. In that instant, they were not just attendees at a concert. They were part of an extraordinary human experience, an unbreakable bond forged by compassion and hope in the face of uncertainty. Suddenly, the moment everyone had been waiting for arrived. Martha's eyelids fluttered open, and she blinked a few times to adjust to the lights around her. As her gaze landed on Elvis, kneeling beside her with a look of deep concern, a radiant smile spread across her face. The sight of him, her idol and the person she had long admired, filled her with a rush of joy that overshadowed her previous fears. "Martha, you're back with us!" Elvis exclaimed, relief washing over him as he gently squeezed her hand. The crowd erupted into cheers, a wave of joy flooding the arena as they recognized that their beloved fan was awakening. The unity they felt moments earlier now transformed into pure elation, making the atmosphere electric once more. Martha struggled to sit up, still slightly disoriented but overwhelmed with happiness. "I'm so glad you're here," she managed to say, her voice shaky yet filled with warmth. Elvis nodded encouragingly, his eyes twinkling with kindness as he responded softly, "Of course I am. You're never alone in this crowd." As she took in the scene, the fans cheering, the medics stepping back with smiles of relief, Martha realized this moment was etched in her heart forever. The joy of seeing Elvis by her side transformed what could have been a frightening experience into one of love and connection. She felt as if she was part of something larger than herself, a beautiful memory woven into the fabric of that unforgettable night under the spotlight. As Martha's joyous smile radiated through the arena, the reaction from the crowd was immediate and electric. A resounding cheer erupted, filling the air with excitement and relief. Fans stood to their feet, some clapping and others waving their arms in celebration. The atmosphere transformed into one of sheer euphoria as the realization that Martha was awake settled over them. Elvis, still beside her, looked up and smiled warmly at the audience, his own heart swelling with joy at witnessing this heartfelt connection with his devoted fan. The energy surged through the crowd like a wave, each applause resonating not only for Martha's recovery but also for the compassion they had all witnessed. It was a testament to the unique bond between artist and audience, a bond strengthened in a moment of vulnerability. Cheers of, "We love you, Elvis!" intertwined with shouts of encouragement for Martha, creating a harmonious chorus that echoed against the walls of the venue. Fans glanced at one another, their expressions reflecting shared joy and relief as they collectively celebrated this memorable reunion between idol and admirer. In that moment, everyone understood they were part of something extraordinary. It wasn't just a concert, it was a moment where humanity prevailed, reminding them of the power of love and kindness in times of crisis. The applause continued to swell like an ocean tide as Martha's eyes sparkled with gratitude, a memory etched into the hearts of all present, forever connected by this unforgettable night. As the years passed, the unforgettable evening of Martha's awakening at the Elvis concert became a legendary part of music history. Stories of that night were recounted at gatherings, celebrated in articles, and shared across generations, illustrating the profound impact it had on everyone present. Fans who witnessed the event would often reminisce about the moment they collectively held their breath, a testament to the power of compassion and connection. Interviews with attendees captured a range of emotions, each person narrating their unique perspective. "I remember feeling an overwhelming rush of love for both Martha and Elvis," explained one fan. "It was more than just a concert, it was a reminder that we're all connected," another attendee recalled. "When Martha opened her eyes, it felt like the entire place exploded with joy. It was a moment I'll never forget." Elvis himself later spoke about that night in interviews, expressing how deeply it moved him to see such raw emotion and kindness from his audience. "It wasn't just about performing, it was about being there for each other," he shared, reflecting the sentiments felt by fans everywhere. The bond formed in that arena transformed lives. Many began to help others in need after witnessing such compassion unfold before them. The evening embodied not only a concert experience but also a celebration of humanity and connection, preserving its significance in the hearts of many for years to come. It became a story passed down through time, reminding everyone that kindness could shine even in unexpected moments. The night of Martha's awakening at the Elvis concert serves as a poignant reminder of the beauty found in kindness and compassion, especially within the realm of celebrity culture. In an environment often characterized by glitz and glamour, this event highlighted the profound connections that can be formed when one individual reaches out to another in a moment of need. Elvis's genuine concern for Martha not only transformed a potentially frightening situation into one of warmth and love, but it also showcased how stars can use their influence to uplift those around them. This incident resonates deeply with fans, illustrating that even icons are capable of vulnerability and empathy. The shared experience of witnessing Elvis kneeling beside Martha created an enduring bond among the audience, who united in admiration for both her courage and his compassion. It reminds us that, regardless of fame or status, we all share a common humanity. As stories of that unforgettable night continue to be told, they inspire hope and emphasize the importance of community spirit. People are reminded that they can make a difference in each other's lives, no matter how small the act may seem. In a world that sometimes feels divided, this event shines as a beacon, illustrating that when we come together with kindness at our core, we create moments that leave lasting impacts on hearts and minds alike. Ultimately, it reinforces the notion that compassion is a powerful force, one capable of bridging gaps and fostering unity among all.